As an Army vet myself, I really do love seeing active duty members and vets excelling in real estate. There's not a lot of us, but the ones that are doing it really big. We really do have an advantage that unfortunately most active duty and veterans don't really fully understand. I know when I was in, I had no idea that I could even use a VA loan. I thought that was something for, hey, once I get out, then that's something I can use. I didn't realize I could actually use it while I was in, because I got out in the early 2000s. So there was no bigger pockets. There weren't all these outlets that there are now, right? The information just wasn't there. So I had no clue that I could actually buy a fourplex or something. And then when I got out and I used my VA loan to buy a single family home, I still didn't have any clue that I could actually buy a duplex, triplex, fourplex. Have you used your VA loan yet?
No. Everybody's like, what? You're the guy who talks about it. I'm like, well, I'm passionate about it because I got screwed a bunch. The first time I went to use it, I found bigger pockets. So I knew about the duplex, triplex, fourplex thing. And I was like, I'm going to buy a duplex. I went to a VA lender that I heard on a radio ad it was like Bank of Little Rock Mortgage. I'll call them out. They, were advertising here in Springfield, Missouri that they specialize in the VA loan. And I went to talk to the guy and he was like, you can only use the VA loan once. You don't want to waste it on that house. It was only 80 grand. And he was wrong. Obviously I could have used it a whole bunch more, especially for an $80,000 duplex. You kidding me? So he talked me into a different loan, FHA, which isn't the end of the world, but cost me probably 10 grand over the life of that loan and PMI. And I then went to Hawaii and I was priced out there because I didn't understand that you could put 25% down on the additional little bit. So I didn't buy there. When I moved to San Diego, I just happened to get there 6 months before they removed the limit on how much you could buy with your first house. I couldn't afford anything but a single family. I didn't want to own a single family in San Diego. So I kept rocking and rolling. And then 6 months later, I was already in a lease and they removed that. And I was like, damn, I wish I'd known that. I would have bought one. And then when I moved to Springfield, I got told, well, you don't have a W-2. You don't qualify for mortgages right now. And so this year may be the first time that I'm finally qualified to not be unbankable and I can actually buy a house. I'm either going to refi the one that I'm currently standing in into a VA loan, or I'll build one with the VA.
It's just so much misinformation. Again, you mentioned you talk to the lender. Half of them don't know what they're talking about, right? And that's the big problem. I'm lucky because I found a really solid lender I refer people to all the time because he knows the VA loan inside and out. And he's been able to work some incredible deals for a lot of my friends. So if you could give advice right now to someone that's active duty, right, and they're interested in investing in real estate, what advice would you give them?
I would say use the VA loan to house hack. You buy a fourplex, you live in one unit, rent the others out. You got to pay to live somewhere. So now you're cutting your cost of living, you're pocketing the rest of the BAH while you're simultaneously learning how to be a landlord, learning about depreciation, benefiting from tax advantages and appreciation and cash flow. And it's a lot less scary to do it that way than it is to say go buy a rental property where you can talk yourself out of it because rentals and investing is scary. Just go buy a place you live in and that also has additional units and rent those out. You can hire a property manager so you don't have to do any of it. That's my favorite thing.